Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and on today's video we're going to break down the biggest mistakes not to make at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And this is this very popular Christmas event at Walt Disney World, or one of the two Christmas events at Walt Disney World. This is specifically over at Magic Kingdom Park. So if you are in the process of planning a Disney vacation during Christmas time and you're trying to figure out what to do, thinking about going to Mickey's Very Merry, maybe you already bought your tickets, just be sure to stick around until the end of this video so you are as prepared as possible to get the most out of this event. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, we are about to break down the biggest mistakes to avoid at Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So if you are in the process of planning a Disney trip and it seems like you need more videos like this, just be sure to hit that subscribe button, as I have a lot more similar videos coming out in the coming weeks. But let's jump right in. And one of the biggest mistakes that some families might not realize or make is that Christmas does start extremely early in Walt Disney World. The first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is actually November 8th, as of 2024 anyway, but historically it has pretty much been right around this date. So even if you're visiting in the future, if you're trying to figure out, you're planning your trip to Disney World and you know that you're visiting in November or December, just know that Christmas does start early, and you can take advantage of the Christmas party in early November. So the dates are actually November 8th through December 20th as of 2024. The next mistake to avoid is to make sure that you don't wait to buy your tickets. We would say this is a specialty ticketed event. You do need a separate ticket to get into the Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and tickets do sell out. So if you know you want to go, make sure that you buy them as soon as possible. I would also say, from a research standpoint, Mickey's Very Merry is different from Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, which is the Halloween event. Christmas in general is different from Halloween, where there actually are two specialty themed events. There's Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and there's also Jollywood Nights at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I would say Jollywood Nights is kind of more adult friendly, meaning like there's more like specialty cocktails and stuff like that. So if that's kind of what you're trying to do, but you still want to enjoy the Christmas the vibes, then just do some additional research. Jollywood might be the better night for you. Okay, moving over to pricing, I would say there's not as big of a difference from a pricing standpoint for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party compared to Mickey's Not So Scary. So just keep that in mind. There's a little bit less of a budgeting standpoint to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. The tickets will be expensive really consistently across the board. I think for Mickey's Not So Scary, we saw tickets for some of the August dates around $119. Over to Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, the cheapest ticket is going to be around $169, and it goes up to $219. So just keep that in mind. And of course, if you're on the fence, I would also say that if you're thinking about like, okay, we are not sure if we want to go to the Christmas party, but we're going to go to Magic Kingdom on that day. Don't forget that Magic Kingdom, unfortunately, on Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party nights will be closing early. So the park will close at 6 o'clock. And what that means is there will be no fireworks that night for regular park guests. If you do decide, though, to upgrade and get a Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party ticket, don't forget that you can get into the park at 4 o'clock to start to enjoy all the attractions and start to have fun. Now, this is a great way to essentially game the system and to maybe get onto some of the most popular rides early with low wait times, or to maybe even go and hop on a line to meet some of your favorite characters, which we will talk about in a little bit for both of them. But the other cool thing, the other mistake that some families might make is you need to get a wristband for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. You don't have to walk all the way to the front of the park if you're already in the park to get your wristband. There are specific locations throughout the park. Some of the most popular ones are going to be in Adventureland across from Pirates of the Caribbean, in Tomorrowland across from Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, in Fantasyland in front of Mickey's PhilharMagic, and in the Chamber of Commerce next to City Hall. One of my favorite things about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is, of course, the snow, quote unquote, or it's really Snope, on Main Street. Now, when you walk into this event, you might not see it snowing on Main Street right away. Don't get disappointed. Don't forget that you will be able to come back and enjoy snow on Main Street. In years past, I have seen it heaviest around parade time, so just keep that in mind. I actually thought for a little while, I went to this event one time and I walked in around 7 o'clock and I was like, oh, they got rid of the snow. But then it came back like later in the night. So if you do want to get those, picturesque, perfect photos with it snowing on Main Street, just be sure to stick around a little bit later at night, or definitely around the parade times. Another big one for families who have visited Walt Disney World in the past for Christmas, but it's been quite some time or a bunch of years, since you visited the parks for Christmas. In recent years, they have not had the Castle Dream Lights, which is essentially the Christmas lights on the castle. Now, it is a projection. The castle definitely is lit up for the holiday season, specifically during this event, but it's no longer that old school like Christmas light vibe. So just keep that in mind. I don't want you being disappointed, knowing kind of what the vibes are going into it. The other thing too is that there is a show, Frozen Holiday Surprise. Join Elsa, Anna, Olaf, Kristoff at 8:15 each Vicky's Very Merry Christmas Party night as they light up Cinderella Castle. It turns into a frozen wonderland. So that's something that's cool that you might not realize is going on. I already spoke about this, but guests can definitely get online for their favorite or some of their favorite character meet and greets before the party officially starts. Mickey's going to be one of the one that pops into minds, and also Jack and Sally is another very, very popular one that could potentially be open before the official 7 o'clock start. Just make sure you have your wristband on, and then you can go get on that line early. And then there are a bunch of sweet treats available at designated locations around the park. So definitely, don't eat right before this event. Bring your appetite. And a bunch of the sweet treats, it's going to be like, a bunch of different cookies, hot chocolate, stuff like that. They are included in your ticket, so it's no additional charge. The other thing I would say too that ties into bring your appetite is when we went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, we were actually overwhelmed with how much specialty themes, little quick bites, the quick service snacks and stuff like that they had. So one of my tips has always been, we would say avoid doing like sit down meals. They do have Be Our Guest open. They have the Plaza open, Cinderella's Royal Table open for guests to enjoy a sit-down meal. However, I just feel like it's only a 5-hour event, so you do have to get the most out of the party, and not doing the sit-down meal will allow you to do that. I also don't think you'll be disappointed with the amount of specialty themed food that they have at the quick service restaurants if you are trying to get a bite to eat. Okay, so another one is that, and this is kind of a catch-22, and I'll explain why. So don't forget that there are a bunch of decked out attractions with holiday themed makeovers, quote unquote overlays, during Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. So the ones that come to mind are going to be the Space Mountain, which will kind of launch you into the cosmos with high energy holiday tunes and festive interior lighting. We also have the Tomorrowland Speedway as you race through the holidays. We have the Mad Tea Party in Fantasyland, which becomes a wild and wacky Christmas party. And then, of course, probably the most popular one is going to be Jungle Cruise, packed with holiday-themed puns. Jingle Cruise can be enjoyed during the party or all day long at the Magic Kingdom Park. Visit Montropolis as the crew of Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor also puts on a ha 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 in their ho 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 with a seasonal show. This is all directly from the Disney World website. Tying into this also, I would say if you're trying to get the most done, if you need to get on every single ride, meet every single character, meet and greet, to do everything, you need to get to this event at 4 o'clock. And the other thing I would say too is make sure that you have a game plan from a ride standpoint to get maybe some of the most popular rides with the highest average wait times out of the way at that 4 to 7 o'clock mark, right? For those 3 hours, you want to get on as many rides as possible before the party officially starts at 7 o'clock. And I went and I looked at the historical data, essentially the wait time data from 2023. The rides with the biggest average wait time were essentially Haunted Mansion at 21 minutes, Peter Pan's Flight at 35 minutes, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at 39 minutes, Space Mountain at 29 minutes, and then Jungle Cruise at 36 minutes. The other important thing, another tip and trick, don't make this mistake, is that there is no individual multi-passes. There is no multi-passes, and then also there's no virtual queue anymore, or at least we're waiting on it. I don't believe there's going to be a virtual queue for 2024. There wasn't for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. So just double check, but I don't believe there's going to be one. What that means is that Tron Light Cycle Run and Tiana's Bayou Adventure are both walk-on queues. Now, these are another two that you do have to be mindful of from an average wait time standpoint. For Mickey's Not So Scary, they've been around 45 to 60 minutes, depending on the night. So just keep that in mind. Definitely get on it as early as possible or later in the evening to avoid these long wait times. And you'll see, 30 minutes for Space Mountain doesn't seem like a lot, but 30 minutes for Space Mountain, 39 for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, that's over an hour. It's only a 5-hour event. So if you're trying to get on everything, come in with a game plan. And again, if you get in at 4 o'clock, you can go on rides. There's nothing stopping you. So definitely be able to take advantage of that and get the heavy hitters that I just mentioned out of the way first. Okay, don't forget that there is 2 parade times. And another thing that might be a little confusing this year is, as of 2024 anyway, Disney has not released that there's a change in times of the parade, which is confusing because they did change the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party for Halloween. So there are 2 parade times. It looks like it's going to be 8:30 at night and 11 o'clock later in the evening. This is for Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas Time parade. Make sure that if this is important to you, you do arrive early and you do get a spot. I would say at least a half hour before, maybe even early if you want to spot on Main Street, just to make sure that you don't miss out on those great photos or that your kids have a great view of the parade. And then also there is one nighttime fireworks show, specialty themed Christmas fireworks, which do take place at 10 p.m. each night. And again, just as a reminder, same thing for the fireworks. Definitely arrive early if you want a great viewing of the fireworks. Disney does have fireworks dessert parties. However, from what we've seen, they are similar to the regular Magic Kingdom dessert parties. I will, of course, update everyone on social media if we do decide to go to one this year and it is different, but just kind of keep that in mind. I would also say don't make the mistake of thinking, if you're definitely visiting during Christmas week, don't make the mistake of thinking that you have to go to this event to see the fireworks. Of course, just a lot of what we do is we don't want to see you spend money you don't have to. After this event, Disney typically will run the Christmas fireworks like that week of Christmas. So this event this year ends essentially on December 20th. And last year, the event ended on the 22nd. And from the 23rd to the 31st, Disney did have the specialty themed fireworks for regular park guests. So just keep that in mind. If you're specifically only going for the fireworks, but you're visiting the week of Christmas, you don't need to try to get that Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party ticket in. You can enjoy it during that week. Crowds are going to be bananas though. So, it's a catch-22. I did just want to mention that. And then of course, don't forget about the specialty themed merchandise throughout the party. The merchandise can be found at the Emporium and Star Traders. And last but not least, this is kind of tying in Epcot, but I would also say that just because it's Christmas over in Magic Kingdom, so if you're visiting in November, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be Christmas over in Epcot. So Epcot has the International Food and Wine Festival, which is actually running until November 23rd. And then after that point, late November, probably early December is when we will see Epcot International Festival of the Holidays. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't always necessarily go hand in hand, but that's essentially it, everyone. Those are some of the biggest mistakes to avoid if visiting Disney for Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. I really hope that you found this video helpful. And if you are in the process of planning a Disney World trip and it does seem like you need a little additional help, if you'd like to get my help, my team's help planning an amazing Disney World vacation, just go and fill out the questionnaire in the comment section. We will help you plan an amazing Disney vacation. And also, as a thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, I do have a special promo code you can go use on our website to save $50 off your next Disney World vacation package. And that promo code is going to be MAGIC50. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys again so much for checking out this video. And until next time, I will talk to you soon.